Hi everyone!
Hey guys!
Connor has joined me for this video because we just got back from a 2-week trip to Japan.
Yep.
And it was so stinking awesome. I did Instagram stories our entire trip and people seemed to really enjoy it, but I got a lot of messages like asking for specifics and asking all kinds of questions. So I thought that we would answer those things in this video. I think that actually with trips in general, but you know, maybe especially trips like this, it's a balance.
A good trip, a good vacation, a good holiday, 60-40, 60% planned and 40% whatever comes to you that day.
Before we went to Japan, we got a Japan Rail Pass.
It's basically just a flat travel card to use the rail system across the country. JR is one of the main rail lines you can use, and that also gives you access to the Shinkansen, which is the bullet train, which is awesome and fast and quiet and comfortable.
Speedy, it gets you all around Japan.
And you can eat on it because you're not like supposed to eat on most of the trains.
So here's another thing, we saw some other Westerners like eating on trains and it's like a big like, it's just a cultural no-no because it's like stinky and then you leave trash around and just Japanese people don't do it, which we really came to respect.
Yeah, there was one time where like it was happening and there were some other tourists and they were eating and then like I could smell it and I suddenly felt like I was a Japanese person and I was like, ew, why are you doing that on a train?
Yeah. But on the Shinkansen, you can bring food, and that was something we really enjoyed like picking because the train stations have really, really good food. You can get like bento boxes, all kinds of stuff. Our favorite thing ended up being tomago, which are these egg omelet sandwiches.
Yeah. Or
like egg salad sandwich. So good. It was our go-to.
Squishy white bread, egg in the middle, spicy mayo. Just so simple, but I don't know. Japan.
Yes.
Killed it.
Onigiri was another one that we loved, which was like a triangle rice thing wrapped in seaweed that has like a little nugget of something delicious inside. We always like the pickled plum and the seaweed. Inarizushi was the other one that we really enjoyed, which was again like a rice, seasoned rice, so delicious, wrapped in a thin fried tofu.
Yeah. I thought it was egg at first.
Yeah.
One of her followers corrected us.
Yeah.
Only so many ways I thought you could have rice, but man, they just really know how to do simple, delicious food over there.
When you get your Japan Rail Pass, we highly recommend also getting a Passmo card. So this little guy is going to get you into subway systems in Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, a bunch of places all around Japan.
Yeah, there's other ones. For Tokyo there's Passmo, and then there's Suica, and then in Osaka there's like other ones, but they all work. The one that we bought in Tokyo worked in Osaka and worked in Kyoto, and people like carry a balance on them as well. You can use them at convenience stores and things like that. We didn't do that. It's just better than like buying tickets each time.
Right.
It's like here in London where you just tap your contactless or your Oyster card, or in New York City you use your Metro card, and that's what that is.
Japan Rail and Passmo send you these things in your home country, so before you even go to Japan, you have these things. So you hit the ground running, you get to Japan, you can use your Japan Rail card to get from the airport into Tokyo, and then once you're in Tokyo, just use your Passmo card to get to your hotel or wherever you're staying.
Yeah, and definitely take the train from the airport, because if you end up taking a taxi, it's like $100, and you're gonna need all your money when you're in Japan, because Japan is pretty expensive. It's not a budget vacation. If you're with a foodie like this one, like you're just gonna spend a lot of money on food.
Which is okay. All right, okay, so we've talked about all of the logistical things that were so critical to us in our trip and enjoying it. So we wanted to get that out of the way, but now let's talk about the fun stuff.
We landed, we were completely jet lagged, and we couldn't check into our hotel, so we just had to keep moving and walking.
So we are in Tokyo. We just got here staying in the Akasaka area.
We smelled really bad because we hadn't showered in a while, but you know, it's probably TMI, but I did get to freshen up in the bathroom with my favorite thing about Japan are the amazing robotic toilets that are equipped with all these settings and faucets and jet sprays that clean your regions and
he's obsessed
and play a little music for you.
He wants to get a Japanese toilet.
Heat the seat. Oh, this is so amazing. Coming back here, I'm just like so sad when I'm on the toilet now.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's boring.
So some of the neighborhoods that are really fun to visit in Tokyo, first of all, Shibuya. This is kind of like one of the main centers, and you know when you see pictures or video of Tokyo and you see like these crosswalks with just mass amounts of people walking, that's Shibuya.
Yeah, Shibuya Crossing is like the iconic thing. You know, we live in London, we've lived in New York, we know a thing or two about crowds, but this was just like, wow, there's a lot of people here, but also very orderly and just not
and polite.
Not chaotic. It was kind of just like a weird miracle of human interaction.
Yeah, and again, not to go off on too many tangents, but I'm going to and say that Japan is the safest place I have ever visited. So even when you're surrounded by people in the middle of this like really kind of like could be hectic situation, I was not clutching for my purse. I was never like, is someone gonna pickpocket me? No, that's like not a thing in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Just didn't have to worry about that. And then we went to Harajuku and like all around that area. It's cool.
When we went to lunch that first day, we walk into this izakaya and we're asked to take off our shoes like right away and put them in this little cubby, and it's great. And so we're sitting in restaurants with our shoes off, and then it's like, you know, for us that is not normal, but
it was great for her. It wasn't for me because like again, we had been on a red eye and I'd been in the same shoes and socks for like going on 36 hours, and so I kept worrying that everyone could smell my stinky feet. But that's just me being a crusty American. It was fun. It was just like we were stepping into someone's home.
Yeah. Also, in Tokyo, there are really pretty parks.
Yep.
Kind of like Central Park-esque, just beautiful, big, and you could go for a jog if you feel like it.
Yeah, we didn't.
No, we didn't do that.
It was hot. I would not go for a jog.
We went to Second Commune, which was really cool. It's in the Shibuya area also.
Yeah, we went there a couple times.
Yeah, we
it's definitely
did.
a good spot to hang out.
Fun. It felt honestly like it could be in Brooklyn. Like it had that kind of a vibe.
Nice mix of like locals, but also like expats, you know.
Yeah,
like
all different kinds of food stalls, beer, craft beer. Yeah, that was really fun. I got my green tea latte from Cafe Kitsune, and we are off to the races.
We did the fluffy pancakes. Gotta get the pancakes for the gram.
Ramen, of course, really good ramen. There's this awesome app that you can download called Ramen Beast, and it tells you any ramen shops in your vicinity, and then it has like a little review and summary. That was a good one. The first night we got ramen sitting outside. We ordered it from one of those ramen machines.
Yeah.
So Connor was like super jet lagged navigating how to order ramen from the
Yep, did it wrong.
machine.
Definitely did it wrong a couple times.
So what just happened?
I don't know.
Hey, good job.
Well, wait until the food comes.
Sat outside, had a beer, had our delicious ramen.
That whole neighborhood, what was that neighborhood called?
Shimo Kitazawa. It's like almost a little suburb of Tokyo. And so cute, so stinking cute. One of my favorite areas of Tokyo.
Yeah, it's really cool. If you're into vintage shopping at all, this is like every other store.
Clothing shops and vinyl as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Also, so we've actually been, I haven't really talked about it at all on the YouTube channel because it's quite a change for me. But we've been eating vegetarian for almost 6 months now.
Yeah, almost 6 months now. That was a challenge in Tokyo, but mainly just because of the language barrier. We got there in the end most of the time. I'm sure we definitely had things snuck in our food that we didn't know, but yeah.
Right, yeah, and we're like, whatever, when you travel, you know, we weren't so picky about it, but we did, you know, we stuck with it pretty darn well and, you know, learned a few key phrases like YASAI DAKE.
YASAI DAKE.
Vegetables only, vegetables only. And then also, Konichiwa. Hello, good day. Ohio is good morning. And I love that one because I'm from the state of Ohio.
I'm from Michigan, so I never said it.
There's like also some regional words, like when we went to Osaka, which we'll get to later, there's a different word for thank you in Osaka.
OKINI?
Yeah, instead of like arigato. And it's, you to say thanks, it can be like arigato, domo arigato, arigato gozaimasu. It's all kinds of things, and we would just kind of say whatever.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Another good one is DOZO, which is like after you. DOKO is where. So if you need to find something and you have like a map, you can go up to a Japanese person and point and just go, DOKO. Before you get your food, you say itadakimasu, which is like I receive this food. And it's like a very polite thing to say. And then after you get the food, gochiso-sama is like, oh wow, what a feast, this was great. And they love to hear that. And how do you say delicious? Which we would also say, because it's like one word, wham bam, thank you.
Yeah,
ma'am.
oishi.
Oishi.
She mostly did that kind of stuff. I just smiled and said thank you.
But this is oishi. That means delicious. Really quickly, we can't leave out the most amazing pizza we had in Tokyo.
Oh yeah, on the very end of the trip, we went to Savoy. Shout out to Jessie who took us there.
Jessie Thompson, thank you, girl.
It was on, it's been featured on Ugly Delicious on Netflix.
Another fun thing we did was like found about this like random bar. We went with a buddy, played ping pong. I mean, the random kind of things that we didn't intend on ended up being really memorable.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't tell you about that bar because it was like supposed to be a secret.
I know, yeah,
so
we'll stop this right now.
Sorry, guys.
That Tokyo is awesome.
Yep.
We really, really liked it. And then we got out of the city, went to quiet, beautiful
Hakone.
Hakone. It was so nice. We stayed at a ryokan, which is a traditional Japanese guest house.
The ryokan experience is just like nuts because like, you know, as a Westerner, like I've never slept on the, I slept on the floor in like my friend's basement, but I never like thought that I'd like pay to go sleep on the floor, but it's just like really simple.
A little glimpse of life in a ryokan. We just woke up, clearly this is morning face, and this is where we slept last night. It is also where we'll be having breakfast shortly, and we also wake up to this.
Simple, and they serve you food in your room, and we later found out you don't have to, but you wear these robes.
They're called yukatas.
Yukata.
Yeah.
And it's fun to just like do the full Japanese thing and just like look out the window at this like amazing green, lush,
stunning
mountainside.
And there are onsens, which are these hot springs, so.
Yeah, definitely do an onsen situation. We did both private and public, so, because you're naked when you go, so, you know, there's the men's and the women's, and you get to go be naked with a bunch of random people, and
but it's fine because everyone does it. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, and it's very relaxing. And then
great.
Another weird thing that we didn't really encounter, but apparently is something to be sensitive to, is if you have tattoos and you go and bathe in these. Katie brought Band-Aids because she's got a little ink. Awesome vegetarian meal there, and we went on this great hike.
Really fun hike. It was beautiful, so lush. And then we went to the open air museum.
Oh yeah, the open air museum. That was cool. That was definitely...
it kind of like if in New York State there's
Storm King.
Oh yeah, so Hakone was great. And then we left the peace and calm and went to Osaka.
Yeah, it was like a weird, delicious neon cartoon experience.
We loved it. The food was so good. Okonomiyaki was birthed in Osaka. So fun, like this pancake kind of savory deliciousness.
Yeah, we ate a lot of those.
Kushikatsu, which is fried stuff on sticks, basically.
Sounds simple, but you can't go wrong. I mean, dip it in the sauce, and it was so good. And and then like just, you know, you couldn't tell if it was day or night walking around, and Donburi was basically where we stayed and hung out, and it's just like just full on like Times Square, Piccadilly Circus, like
total Times
neon
Square vibes.
vibes. But I say that as not a detraction, because in New York, like if you were to like say Times Square, you'd be like, ew, but it was fun, and it was just like, you know, like arcades and crazy giant sushi man costumes and things like that, and it was fun. And the Osakan people, they, you know, they say, and we experienced this, there's a little more friendly, a little more gregarious. You know, we found a little bar we just stumbled into called Elephant, and we like kind of
made friends with the bartender.
With the bartender and some of the patrons, and just like had the worst broken English, broken Japanese conversation ever. But like, you know, smiles and drinks were flowing. It was really fun.
Yeah.
We ended up going back and bringing them chocolate from London.
We also went to the aquarium in Osaka, which is actually like one of the world's top aquariums. That was cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, that's just like a weird thing. I'm really into the ocean, and they have whale sharks there. The Japanese like people, and like they're an island nation, they have a very interesting relationship with the ocean. It's obviously like so much, you know, they eat so much food from the ocean, but aquariums have interesting vibes where you're a little bit like, oh, this doesn't feel so good about
Kind of like the zoo.
animal rights, but
Yeah.
also like, wow, at the end they had a really nice message about like trying to conserve the ocean, and so I was like, okay, this is why we do this.
So we also did a day trip from Osaka to Nara. So two big things about Nara. One, that's where the big Buddha is. Like huge bronze Buddha. Massive. Then also the highlight of Nara is the deer.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a fun Instagram moment, definitely checks that box. But it's also just like really fun. They're like these deer, and they're kind of cute, and they're really friendly, and they've been living in this town, in this park for like 1,000 years or something, and they
used to be considered like they were like messengers of the gods, like way before like Buddhism even came
Yeah,
out.
so there's like tons of tourists just like flocking, and you buy these little biscuits from these old women, and you feed them to them, and
You feed them to the deer, not to the old women.
yeah.
But it's cool because you like bow to the deer and the deer bow back, and it's like this, choreography of bowing.
Yeah, and I would say here's my pro tip, is that you buy these wafers to feed the deer for like 150 yen, there's like 5 of them. Don't give this whole stinking wafer to one deer, break them up. Like they're animals, you don't have,
Yeah. Make your yen stretch further, then don't hand them all.
I was just watching these people like give these entire wafers to one deer, and like, you could break them into 5 pieces. That's 5 more interactions with deer that you get. Also, the deer are gonna like find you and like pull on your clothes.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
It's all about these biscuits. Oh, did you? Okay, buddy. Oh my god. Not very nice.
And woke up the next morning and went to
Kyoto.
Kyoto, which is great. And like the big thing to do there is see the temples and shrines and stuff like that. So one of the first things we did was we went to Fushimi Inari Shrine.
We hired bikes and biked along the river to get there, which was fun. The city's like, it's smaller. It's still like 1.5 million people live there, I think. So, like, that's like bigger than Seattle, like twice the size of Seattle. But
also, can I just say, he sounded so British just there. He said we hired bikes. That's the language they use here in England. Americans would say we rented bikes.
We rented bikes. Sorry, betraying my nation. Biked along the river, and then we went to this shrine. And I don't know. My 2 tips there: get there earlier than we did. We got there at like 10 a.m. and it was like swamped with people.
Already,
Yeah.
and the rest of the day is swamped.
And it's these like iconic, you've seen the photos, but they're just these rows and rows and rows of these orange Shinto gates that line the path. So everyone's in there trying to get a photo, and you can't get one because there's 1 million people walking in and out. So A, get there early, B, keep going. It's like a 4-kilometer hike to the top of this mountain. And once you get to the top, like everyone else has gotten really tired and gone back down, so that then you can get your like photos alone in the tunnels of orange Shinto shrines. And
Yeah.
They're really cool.
After the shrine, we went straight. We were very hungry at that point because we did the whole 4K walk, and we had these great soba noodles at a place that's been open for I forget. I'll put it on the screen, but it's a very old traditional soba noodle place, and that was delicious.
Yeah, it was really good.
We walked Philosopher's Path.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of walking. Kyoto's a good place to stroll. It's
Yeah.
just a little more low-key, a little more open. And you kind of like weirdly got these like college town vibes. We went and had a drink on a rooftop and looked over the city. And then the next day we also like just got some beers from 7-Eleven and sat by the river. And that's what everyone else was doing.
Super
as well.
chill. Yeah, lovely evening. Should we share the name of the rooftop bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
We some nice French tourist told us on the train.
Yeah, we were on our way and we were chatting with them.
Yeah, so it's a place called In the Moon, and it's just Google it. It's a rooftop bar, and there was like no one there, and it just looks over the river and all of Kyoto, and pretty nice vibes.
Really, really nice. We ended up actually cutting our time in Kyoto short because we decided to add an extra day to our stay in Koyasan. So that's where we went next, and I am really glad we spent 2 nights because it takes a little while to get there. You take like a train to a different train to a more regional, smaller like 2-car train, to a cable car up to the top of Mount Koya.
To a bus.
To a bus, yeah. So it was kind of a lot of travel to get there, but so worth it. It's actually one of the most sacred places in Japan because our buddy
Kobudaishi, he's still there in eternal meditation. He's been doing it for 1,000 years.
In eternal meditation at the cemetery. We actually did a nighttime tour around the cemetery. This Buddhist monk showed us around, and it was like a group tour. And we learned so much about Buddhism versus Shintoism, and it was just really, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it was very informative.
Yeah, that's another one we'd recommend is the night tour. It meets at OKINI. Throw it in the description, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
okay,
well,
cool.
yeah. For most of the day, we took a really beautiful hike around the mountains and hills in that area.
Doing a good job directing us.
Thanks. We'll see until we get lost. Yeah, it was great. It was just like super lush, and apparently there's bears, so we were hoping we'd see bears. We didn't see bears, but you know, just like amazing cedar trees and bamboo and birds and frogs, and you know, it was definitely a hike. We definitely like went up. It's along 3 ridges and 3 mountains, and then you go back into the town. But yeah, it was great. And
in Koyasan, we stayed at a Buddhist temple, which was very cool. We actually stayed at 2, technically, because we stayed at one night and then another the next night.
Yeah.
Because of our last minute change of plans, but it was great, and it was actually cool to see the 2 different styles. And something I really enjoyed was waking up in the morning, quite early in the morning, and doing the morning prayers with the monks. So that was cool if you're into that kind of thing.
I slept through it.
And then we went back to Tokyo.
Yep. Back to Tokyo, one last day. We were pros at that point, knew all the way around.
It was great. We really, really loved Japan. I hope that you all get to go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for being a part of our Japan trip with us. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to
keep it quirky.
Bye, guys. See you later.